This is in 7.4, and it'll be question 1 in this playlist. Now, this type of problem it's a little bit complicated. So I'm going to try to explain some of the things that we're working with, okay? So this is the number of trials, what we call trials. That's like the number of times we're going to throw the coin, or how many girls we're going to have in a family of 6 kids, something like that. And then P is the probability of a success in a trial. And then P of X equals something. This is our X value. Okay? So in this problem, we're working with 8 trials, a probability of 0.2, and our X is going to be equal to 2 in this problem. Now I'm going to give you 2 formulas, and write these in your notebook. You're going to need them. Okay, so the mother formula is P of X equals X, and this is the formula. We're not filling in any values yet, equals NCX times P to the power of X times 1 minus P to the power of N minus X. Okay? Now, this piece of the formula, likely something that you're not familiar with yet, has its own little formula. And write this one down too. So NCX equals N factorial over X factorial times N minus X factorial. And what I'm saying there is N factorial. That's what this exclamation sign means, okay? And then one more piece of information. Sometimes we just say choose, choose X. What this calculates is the number of possible combinations of N objects taken X at a time. Okay, that's just some basic information about all of these binomial distribution type problems, okay? So now we're going to work this particular problem, and I'm just going to bring the information down here. So our X is going to be equal to 2, our N is equal to 8, and our P is equal to 0.2. Okay, so how we're going to work this is we're going to do this part first. It's a little bit long, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'll show you how to do it in a little bit simpler way. Okay, so N is 8, so that's going to be 8, choose X is equal to 2, 8 factorial over 2 factorial times 8 minus 2. Okay, so N is 8, so I've got N factorial. And then in the denominator, I've got X, which is 2 in this case, so 2 factorial multiplied by N minus X. N minus X is 6, so this is going to be 6 factorial. Okay, now how we calculate these in factorial, what this means is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 2 factorial means 2 times 1 times 6 factorial, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, before you start multiplying all this stuff out, let's make it a little bit easier by canceling out things from the top and the bottom, from the numerator and the denominator. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 5 goes into 5 one time. You don't have to write all these little ones. I'm doing it today because later you're going to want to remember that when you're crossing out these things, we're really leaving behind a 1. Okay, so now we have 8 times 7 times 1 times 1 times blah, 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 which is really just 8 times 7. And here we've got 2 times 1 times blah, 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 which is still just 2. So 56 divided by 2 is giving us 28. Okay, so 8 choose 2 gives us 28, meaning there's 28 combinations possible if we have 8 objects and we're only going to choose 2 of them at a time. Now we're going to use the mother equation. Okay, so I'm going to have P of x equals 2 equals this part right here I've already calculated to be 28. So that's going to be 28 times P to the x, so P to the x, also here, times 1 minus P to the n minus x, so 6. Okay, and then you're just going to calculate this out. So let me see. This is how I do it. You probably do it a little bit different way, but that's okay. So I'm going to start right here. 1 minus 0.2 equals, use this y to the x to get anything besides squared, to the 6th power. Okay, so I got this. Now I'm going to multiply by 0.2 squared times 0.2 squared, and I'm just going to press equals. Maybe I don't have to, but I'm going to, times 28. And this problem says to round to the 4th digit, so I'm going to write down the first 5 digits, 29360, and that's going to round, of course, to 2936, and that is your final answer for this problem.